Hello, welcome back to the reading of the poem of the Man-God, written by Maria Valtorta, Volume 2, Chapter 249, Part 1. Jesus meets the disciples at Sicaminon, 11th August, 1945. It is on the bank of the deep torrent that Jesus finds Isaac, with many known and unknown disciples. Among the known ones there are the head of the synagogue of the Clearwater, Timaeus, Joseph of Emmaus, the one accused of incest, the young man who did not bury his father to follow Jesus, Stephen, Abel, the leper cured near Chorazin with his friend Samuel, Solomon, the ferryman of Jericho, and many more whom I recognize, but I do not remember in the least where I saw them or their names. Many faces indeed are known to me, but only as faces of disciples, and there are other people who have been converted by Isaac or by the above-mentioned disciples, and are following the main group, hoping to find Jesus. Their meeting is tender, joyful, and respectful. Isaac's eyes are beaming with joy when he looks at the Master and shows him his new flock, and as a reward he asks Jesus to say a few words to his people. Do you know any quiet place where we can gather together? At the end of the bay there is a desert beach with some hovels of fishermen, which are empty at this time of the year because they are unhealthy, and because the fishing season of fish to be salted is over. And the fishermen have gone to Syrophoenicia to fish for Maurices. Many of them already believe in you, because they heard you speak in sea towns, or because they found disciples, and they have given us the little houses to rest in. We go there after a mission, because there is a lot to be done in this area. It is deeply corrupted by many things. I would like to go as far as Syrophoenicia, and I could do it by sea, because the coast is parched by the sun, and it is impossible to go there on foot. But I am a shepherd, not a sailor, and among my people there is not even one who can sail. Jesus, who listens carefully, smiling lightly, lowering his head a little, as he is so tall compared with the little shepherd, who like a soldier is reporting everything to his general, replies, God helps you because of your humility. If I am known here, it is due to you, my disciple, and to no one else. We will now ask the men of the lake whether they feel they can sail the sea, and if possible, we will go to Syrophoenicia. And he turns round looking for Peter, Andrew, James, and John, who are talking animatedly to some disciples, while Judas is warmly congratulating Stephen and the zealot. Bartholomew and Philip are near the women. The other four are with Jesus. The four fishermen come at once. Do you feel up to sailing the sea? Asks Jesus. The four look at one another perplexedly. Peter ruffles his hair while pondering on the matter. He then asks, Well, where? Offshore? We are freshwater fish. No, along the coast as far as Sidon. I think it can be done. What do you say? I think so too. Sea or lake, it is still the same thing, water. The same thing, water, says James. Nay, it will be even more beautiful and easier, exclaims John. I don't know how you can say that, replies his brother. It's his fondness for the sea. He who loves something sees every perfection in it. If you loved a woman like that, you would be a perfect husband, says Peter jokingly, shaking him affectionately. No, I am saying so because at Ashkelon I saw that maneuvers are the same and navigation very smooth, replies John. Well, let us go then, exclaims Peter. However, it would be better to have someone from here. We have no experience with the sea and its depth contour, remarks James. Oh, I would not even think of that. We have Jesus with us. Before I was not yet certain, but after he calmed the lake, let us go with the Master to Sidon. Perhaps there is some good to be done there, says Andrew. Well, we shall go. You will get the boats tomorrow. Ask Judas of Simon to give you the purse. And all mixed together, apostles and disciples, and it is needless to say how happy many are, particularly the ones already well known to Jesus. They retrace their steps, going back towards the town, and walk round the outskirts, until they reach the end of the bay, which protrudes into the sea like a bent arm. A few little houses are there, spread on the narrow, pebbly shore, represent the most poverty-stricken and depopulated quarter of the town, which is inhabited only at intervals. The walls of the little cubic-shaped houses are worn away by saltness and age, and they are all closed. When the disciples open them, they show their smoky misery and bare essential furnishings. Here they are. They are not beautiful, but are clean and comfortable, says Isaac, who is doing the honors of the house. The poor things are certainly not beautiful. The Clearwater was a royal palace in comparison, and there were some who complained, grumbles Peter, but they are a real fortune to us. Of course, the all-important thing is to have a roof over your head and to be fond of one another. Oh, look, there is our John. How are you? Where were you? But John of Endor, although smiling at Peter, runs to greet Jesus, who replies to him with very kind words. I did not let him come because he has not been well. I prefer him to stay here. He is so clever with citizens and with those who ask information on the Messiah, says Isaac. The man from Endor is indeed much thinner than previously, but his countenance is serene. His emaciation ennobles his features, so that one thinks of him as a man already affected by the double martyrdom of flesh and soul. Jesus watches him and asks, Are you not well, John? I am not any worse than I was before seeing you, and that as far as my body is concerned. With regard to my soul, I think I am recovering from my peculiar wounds. Jesus looks at his peaceful eyes and hollow temples, but does not say anything. He lays a hand on his shoulder while entering a little house with him, into which they had brought basins of salt water to refreshen their tired feet, and pitchers of cool water to quench their thirst, while outside they are laying the table on a rustic board shaded by a very poor pergola of creepers. While twilight is failing and the sea is whispering its evening prayers, with the surf rustling on the pebbly shore, it is beautiful to see Jesus having supper with the women and the apostles, sitting at the coarse board, while the others, sitting on the ground or on seats or baskets turned upside down, form a circle round the main table. The meal is soon over, and the table is cleared even sooner, because there were only very few plates, only for the more important guests. The sea has become indigo black in the starless night, and all its majesty appears in this sad but solemn hour, typical of seashores. Jesus, whose tall white figure is outstanding in the darker and darker shadows, rises from the table and comes towards the middle of the apostolic group. While the women withdraw, Isaac and another man light little fires on the beach to illuminate and keep away the clouds of mosquitoes, which probably come from nearby marshes. This has been a reading from the poem of the Man God, written by Maria Valtorta, Volume 2. Chapter 249, Part 1. Jesus meets the disciples at Sicaminon. Thank you for listening. I will see you tomorrow. May God bless you, and may peace be with you.